over a week from the election results, of course, and it's the driving force has been, in my estimation, really monitoring the psychology of the post-election. There has been giddiness, exuberance, irrational exuberance, Greenspan might have said, and certain sectors have just been blasting higher, which for me is just an opportunity to go contrarian on those bad boys, which I've been doing. It's another good day. We've got a red day for a change. It's I've got 15 short positions, all of them profitable, and that's with a market near lifetime highs. So things are feeling good. I've got a bunch of charts loaded for you, and we can talk about them. And you know what? I better bring my screen up, and now we're ready to go. We have the spider in front of us. As you can see, things have kind of stalled out. Monday was kind of the tippity top, and that makes total sense. Last Tuesday was the election. Wednesday went berserk, and then Thursday went berserk, and Friday went berserk. And over the weekend, people thought of more reasons why everything's going to be great now. And that one last gasp of zeal got poured into the market, which is why the open was pretty much the lifetime high. And through the course of this week, it's been subtle, but we've been slipping a little every day. And no matter what your political disposition, no matter where you are, extreme left, extreme right, or right in the middle, folks are going to be disappointed. You will. The pledges being made, the promises being pledged, ain't going to happen. I think of the scene in The Big Short when the lead holds his zero. If you've seen it, you know what I'm talking about. Zero. That'll be the cuts made, I suspect. I'm all for cuts, to be clear. Cut away 100%. Love it. Zero government. That'd be terrific. But it's not going to happen. But in the meanwhile, people think it is. And they think that the private prisons are going to be just printing money with all their inmates. And Axon's going to be tasing people left and right, so they'll be making profits. So all these very specific companies that have been just zipping higher have been raging. And I've been diving in with both feet to either short them or to buy puts against them. And we have been this week kind of doing a little bit of fizzling now, very, very, very early in the fizzling process. Full fizzle will take years. The comp Q illustrates this even better because as we stand here now, we are where we were on the opening last Thursday. So we've spent 6 days going nowhere. And that's cool because all this stuff is a distribution top and provides, as I said earlier, sweet opportunities. The Russell, the small caps, very cool unto itself. It got tantalizingly close to its lifetime high back here. Lifetime high is back in November 2021. And it seemed like, we're going to nail this sucker. And so Monday, just within spitting distance of the lifetime high, and then there. First thing to monitor is what happens if and when this gap is filled. We'll see. That's the first level of anything resembling support. Overseas, EFA is green for a change, but this trend line is broken. Let's change that to blue just to kind of drive that point home. This pattern we see here has been in place for 2.5 years, not quite, but 27 months. And we have broken that pattern. Just saying. FXI, China, red. It has sealed its gap. Here's the gap right there. September 25th and 26. I don't remember what happened. That was probably one of those multi-trillion-dollar bailouts, one of many they've hurled to try to turn things around. And so, the trillions are still deployed. The debt is still there, but it hasn't meant a thing. This is going to be par for the course. Throw money, throw money, throw money. And a week or two later, it's like, that didn't do any good. Oh, but we still have this debt. So China is hundreds of percent of debt versus their GDP. And no matter what they hurl, it just doesn't last in terms of propping these equities up. I made a mistake yesterday on Bob. I mistakenly said that this morning, Thursday morning, was the earnings. That's incorrect, and I realized that, and I apologize for that. Friday morning is the earnings. my disposition is the same, which is I have no position. It seems kind of a good place to get in, only because of its proximity to this base, but you got to keep context in mind. As insanely overvalued as this market is, I almost said still is, but it's like, oh, we've had 4 hours of a downtick. No, as insanely overvalued as this market is across the board, I hesitate to say anything should be bought. So, but as I said yesterday, I put my little blinders on. The chart um, siloed from everything else does seem like a good buy. Semiconductors, SMH is red bar there, which you candlestick folks know all that means is that the present price is lower than the opening price. It's a red bar, but it's a green quote. We're up a little bit. I fully expect this trend line to get broken. And of aid to that will be things like, for example, AMD. AMD, for the first time in 8 years, has broken this trend line. And that's cool too. Actually happened yesterday, but yesterday was a little frenetic. I was not in the best form yesterday because we had a late start. But yeah, that has broken down after 8 years of waiting. And an ARM Holdings is getting very close to completing its own reversal pattern, which would be the third time. It's kind of cool. 1, 2, 3. I really need the count here from Sesame Street to help me with stuff like this, but that's what's going on. We've got a nice formative potential failure there as well. Even Bitcoin is stalled out for now. We got up to $93,434 on that clump of zeros and ones yesterday. It's just kind of hanging out. I mean, it's you can be dramatic about it and be like, it's down over $5,000. Well, yeah, it is, from yesterday's peak, but it still had an amazing lift here. This thing has gone up like $50,000 since well, geez, just a couple of months ago. So not that shocking. That's going to take a little breather. We had one here and here and here. I mean, to me, it's almost too tempting for the $100,000 to be crossed. You just got to believe that the whole Bitcoin community wants that. And obviously, in these aren't even the formative stages or the larval stages. This is the prenatal stages of the government that's coming. They're being very enthusiastic about Bitcoin, and that shows, that's reflected in the price. Brokers that are closely aligned with crypto have also been doing very well. Robinhood has for years, they just kind of like attempted base after base after base. This one finally took. It took 3 times. This one finally took hold, so up it went. And then IBKR, an even more dramatic example. I actually shorted this earlier today because this is a nutso chart. But yeah, we peaked on Tuesday with that one, IBKR. You also probably heard in the news, 4 battered SMCI down double digits again. This gap, maybe it'll give it a little bit of relief. It's incredible that this gap of all things, from May of last year, is close to getting sealed. But this has just been Enron level catastrophic in terms of its fall from grace, because this had been just one of those eye-popping stocks in history, and now it's just getting destroyed because of scandal and fraud and pointing fingers and auditors fleeing the building with their sneakers on. So yeah, SMCI I think is threatened with delisting at this point. Going back to the post-election stuff, DJT, as I suspected, really didn't play to begin with. We have from October 29 fallen from about $55 to almost exactly half that level. And people are losing interest in this particular thing. You can see the volume just kind of dying away. Like so, the big pop, of course, was the 6th, the day after the election. It bid it up to 45.77, but yeah, it's just been withering away ever since. So I have no interest in trading that. Of more interest to me is, for example, Palantir. I got into this one for the first time ever yesterday because this is just sky high. And this is a logarithmic chart. I mean, we can be more dramatic if you want, and pull one of these suckers like that. Although it's gone up so much, they don't look that different. To tell you the truth. So there's the log chart. So I am short Peter Thiel. Another post-election exuberance has been Tesla. And this, yesterday was like the first time since Eisenhower that we haven't mentioned it on the show, but this peaked on Monday, like everything else. It got up to 358. I actually kind of stumbled over those words on Monday because I couldn't believe how high it had gotten. I wasn't sure I was saying it right. But yeah, 358.64. And we're down about $50 from that level. We've slipped below the fib here. Now we're back in this fib range. And also, you probably heard the news that the $7,500 EV credit is going to get kicked to the curb with the new administration. So that might be the first little hint of the bromance fissuring and fracturing a little bit. It'll take time, but it's going to be quite a show. Have your Coke and popcorn ready for that next year. In addition, poor old Rivian, every time they seem to have turned a corner, they get wiped out again. Yesterday, a huge pop on Rivian. I bet a lot of new shareholders jumped in here, excited, enthusiastic about chatter regarding the Volkswagen partnership and so on and so on. Every single person who bought yesterday in a loss, a substantial one to be sure. So yeah, Rivian just can't get off the mat every time. And this one didn't take long at all, but it's had pops before, but they could just mop the floor with them. But yesterday just bang, gone. And I don't know if that's directly related to the $7,500 thing or something else, but yeah, it's a lovely truck actually. But yeah, they cannot seem to get any pleasure. Axon also short these guys. And they are, as I said a day or two ago, these used to be called Taser, and they do the body cameras and the non-lethal weapons. And they are at the tippity top of that huge channel. Another twist regarding Trump fever has been Elon fever and therefore rockets. Now, SpaceX isn't public. If it were, it would have gone up 100%, absolutely, a couple of days after the election. But they're not public. They're privately held. I think $150 billion, $170 billion valuation, something like that. So people are frustrated, so they're looking for anything with a rocket on it. Could be Intuitive Machines, LUNR. It could be this, Rocket Lab, RKLB. Look at this monster. Until April, it stunk. Look at that thing. Garbage, junk, caca. Since then, superstar, and especially after the election. So anything to do with space, and like I said, Intuitive Machines, they were not doing well either, but they've been thriving until today. Look at that. Look at that beast of a reversal on that. It's the jaw-dropping stuff, this dynamism.